Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are unboxing the Anker GaNPrime 735 plug USB-C and USB-A charger. One of the great things about Anker is their quality design of product and also their packaging. The great part about Anker, particularly recently, is around these scratch authenticity QR codes. So if you just scratch that off, you can scan in the QR code and prove its authenticity, which is fantastic. I've used Anker products for many, many years. It's really nice to see them actually move into the plugs, which they've done a lot more recently. Years ago, there used to be a cable plug into a USB-C hub or a USB-A hub. But now they've kind of moved on to having something a little bit more small form factor. Now, one of the big things and one of the big gripes I always have about these plugs is usually the height of them. Now, this one is really, really good because it actually extends lengthways. So when you're plugging it into a multi-distribution block or an extension lead, as we call them in the UK, it's a lot easier to actually slot in. You don't have those challenges around where you've put them, if you've mounted them under your desk, etc. They just stick outwards rather than upwards or downwards. Now, inside the box, you will also find a user manual. This will cover off some of the elements around what you can and can't do with the charger. The main reason I bought this was to use it for my recent purchase of the Steam Deck. Now, there are some challenges around that, which I will cover off very shortly. But there we are. This is the plug. Now, one of the great ever elements is it does have this wonderful little cover on, and there's nothing more satisfying than removing these peels. But it does protect those ports in transit, stops any dust ingression during that time. But having removed that, you'll notice the two USB-Cs and the USB-A, and then we'll cover off the power elements now. So moving on to the charging guide, and the single port charging is quite straightforward in respects to both the USB-Cs being able to provide 65 watt max independently and the USB-A 22.5 watt max. With regards to the 2-point charging, it gets a little different, where you have capable of 65 watts between the two USB-Cs, the top USB-C and the USB-A, and then finally when you use the bottom USB-C and the USB-A, it is only capable of outputting a maximum of 24 watts. Slight difference there. With the 3-port charging, it gets a little bit more simple, with all 3 ports being able to deliver up to a maximum of 65 watt max. Now, Anker's using GaNPrime. Now, what is GaN? It's basically gallium nitride, which in itself is a little bit like silicon, yet it is more efficient. It is easier and better to dissipate heat, therefore more stuff can be crammed into smaller areas. It conducts voltage at a lot quicker and more efficient rate. Therefore, you're starting to see gallium nitride used in a lot more consumer electronics, particularly mobile phones. And you can see that quite easily demonstrated in actually how much they've managed to cram in to this very small footprint Anker device, which is quite phenomenal when you think of this potential application in future technology. Will we start to see mobile phones return to being pocket size? Now, the reason I bought this device was to use it with the Steam Deck. Now, as you can see, Anker have put some time comparisons of 108 minutes against 104 from the original charger. However, it will still indicate that there is a slow charge. So, would the fact it gives a slow charging notification on the Steam Deck prevent me from buying this device? Absolutely not. I've always been a stone advocate of Anker products. And the main reason I bought this was to have the ability to charge 3 devices simultaneously and having a really small form factor, working a lot more multi-gangs. This is my very first YouTube video. There will be more. If you liked it, please like the video and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on Express IT Tech Tips. Thank you very much.